Today on the channel, we're going to showcase the new Egris Black Edition. It's an awesome car, and I did sort of have my doubts on this one when it first came out, but now that we've got one and we've built it and put it together, it looks like an absolutely beautiful car. And, you know, I have built an original Egris in the silver colors, and I must say, I think I like this one a little bit more. So let's dive into it and I'll show you a bit more of the car. Welcome back to the channel, Adam from RC Action Australia. Big thanks for stopping by and supporting the channel. If you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and obviously hit the notification bell so you're notified when we do post a new video. Now, I've put some YouTube Shorts videos up of the Egris when I got it. It arrived in Australia very, very, very early, and had a lot of people contacted me from other parts of the world sort of saying, hey, very, very lucky you got it first by the look of everyone. So I did see some overseas, but very, very limited, but it does look like Australia were a little bit ahead of the deliveries. So with that being said, I did build an Egris on the channel a while back for one of my subscribers. So if you want to go and check out a build video, you can hit the link above. It's a bit of an older video, but if you want to check out more of a build video, go and watch that one after this. But today, I really, really enjoy building cars off camera now, a little bit more attention to detail, and just sort of enjoy the build process rather than taking photos and videos at every single step, and it takes you a lot longer. And this being a new kit, I really wanted to get it out on the channel nice and quick and show everybody the Egris Black Edition, because it has sort of copped a little bit of flack online that people don't like the wheels, they don't like the decals and whatnot. But like I said there in the intro, I have built the Egris that we know, the silver with the orange style decals, and I must say that I think I actually preferred this one. The color tones, some of that sort of shiny foil decals, and the blue obviously and the black, I think it all works quite nicely, and I actually don't mind the silver, dark sort of silver wheels. And obviously to me it has changed a few little things on it. So let's look at what they have changed and what they haven't changed, and then we'll flick to a little bit more sort of photos as we're talking, and I'll talk to you about a few little tips, especially when you're doing the decals, that'll give that little bit better finish. So we've pulled the body off the kit here, and we'll show you the chassis. So it is basically just a normal Egris chassis, nothing special there. We've got our carbon top and bottom decks, and obviously just to sort of showcase that carbon a little bit more, when I went to paint the under tray, I just sort of painted the edges so that you could still see the carbon. That's sort of a bit of a trick that I like to do on some kits that have, you know, got something maybe a little bit special to offer. So I did that one on this car as well. And what can I tell you about this? Let's start off with some of the positives from Tamiya. So we've got the sort of high cap style shocks on the front. Now they've changed them to this sort of gold titanium-y look. I think they look absolutely fantastic, and they've obviously matched in the front sort of upright arm sections here to match. And as per normal, those shocks are beautifully smooth, front and rear, and I think it really complements the sort of decal colours and the chassis. Now, another good thing that I do like about the car is Obviously, I think Tamiya were criticised as being lazy when it first came out, but I think the colour combos have come together quite nicely. Yes, could they have done better? Most certainly. But ball bearings and the kit goes together quite nicely. The only thing that I do notice about building not only the Egress but some of the sort of higher end Tamiya kits that have still got the blister packs is you end up searching for parts here, there and everywhere versus some of the easier kits where you might open bag A and just work through. So this one, you got to search for the parts throughout the kit, but I think that just comes back to that sort of nice blister pack layout that the car did have. So like I said, not too many positives, only because it's not that different to the original Egress. Other than the shocks and some nice colour coding and a nice change of sort of decals. Some of the negatives with this kit is that I guess one of the main negatives is that it hasn't really changed much from the original Egress, other than a few colour changes. Also disappointing from Tamiya that given that this kit is in excess of 700 Australian dollars, and when we did sort of see the Egress, the Avante Black Edition, we do get like a nice kit tribute motor. It's only a GT tuned motor that's re-stickered, but we don't get a motor with this kit, and I think for that price point, I think it should have had a motor included. Now, I had a BZ Superstock motor new in box here that I did put in the car, and I think it ties in quite nicely with the sort of colour tones and whatnot. So I think Tamiya really missed an opportunity there to put a nice motor in the kit, just to make it that little bit special and probably at the price point that it is. Another, I don't really know if you call it a negative, but something definitely to watch out for when you are building yours is the decals. Very, very straightforward, obviously, but when you get into especially some of the foil decals around the side here and on the wing, just make sure that you cut them out. You got to cut a little bit of the black line out as well, only because if you do stick it on the car, you'll have like a silvery foil outline on top of the black as well. So you just got to cut really, really close to the black line there to make sure that you don't sort of get an extra layer of that foil. And talking of the foil, if anyone has put these decals on before, you'll notice that these sort of really shiny foil decals are completely different to your normal sort of vinyl decal. They're very, very thin, very, very soft, and I can see if you're not experienced with putting them on or not careful, then you can easily damage them or get creases or rip them. So just be super careful when putting those decals on. Which brings me to the wing decal. Again, that's that sort of foil style decal. Now, on the sticker sheet, and I noticed in one of the Tamiya publicity photos, they didn't cut really close to the letters, and you see this big excess black sticker hanging out. So I've cut it nice and close to the foil and cut off the black section, and I think it actually fits and looks a better finish. So that's my tip for putting the wing decal on. Not overly sure. I think I've got it kind of in the right place. It's a little bit different to probably where it should be, but I'm happy with where it's turned out. Well, that's it for today's video, looking at the Egress Black Edition. Now, you can let me know in the comments what you think about the car down below, obviously, but I think it looks absolutely fantastic, and I think even though it's priced quite high for a Tamiya kit, when you're looking at $200 to $250 above, say, some of their other kits, I think that the quality is there, and, yes, it should have come with a motor. I don't know why it didn't. In the manual, it has the GT tuned motor, so I don't know whether it probably should have had something like that, but then at the end, due to supply and stock and whatnot, it was never put in the kit. I really don't know. So we have set this one up, like I said, with the motor. We've got a servo in there. I've just got to put a receiver and a speed controller in there. I'm going to do some short wiring and a few special things with that. But I just thought I would get it sort of just a quick showcase of it on the channel today, my thoughts about it, a few little tips in relation to those decals and whatnot, and some ideas for people painting that under tray as well. So yeah, super stoked that I got this one. Now, I did get this one a little bit cheaper with a discount code on eBay, so I didn't pay. I did get it, I think it was about $80, $90 off, so I cannot complain with the price point that I paid. So if you do see one out there with some discounts online or whatnot, I can recommend that you buy it, and I think it is worthwhile getting this one. I don't think a lot of these will be I don't think a lot will either be built, or if they are built, they'll sit on the shelf in someone's collection. But for me, everything behind me here runs. It's got electronics in it, and I may not bash it, but we can definitely take it out, and we'll do a little run footage of it at some stage when the weather starts to get a little bit better here. Now, one thing that I didn't touch on was the shock length. I've seen a few people that have built these, put them online, and they must have put spacers or no oil in the shocks, and they've got it sitting on the ground. I'm actually quite happy with the box length of the shocks. Once you sort of sit it down and you've got some electronics and a battery in it, and that it does sit quite nice and flat. So if you are going to maybe run it or whatnot, don't be concerned about lowering the shocks. I personally don't get the whole point of doing that, but I know some people do that because I guess I actually do use the cars. So if it doesn't, if it's sitting on the ground, well, it's not usable. So yeah, I built the shocks with no rebound, so I think that helps to create a little bit of sag once the car does sit down as well. So anyway, that's it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed looking at the Egress Black Edition, and it's probably going to be one of probably a few out there that are actually built, because I do think a lot of these will just sit in the box. But yeah, super happy that I've built it. So let me know what you think down below, and yeah, I'll catch you on the next video. Until then, see you later. Bye.